Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Liechtenstein Live, und wir haben heute einen internationalen Gast. Wir werden das Ganze auf Englisch machen und ich freue mich, dass er da ist. Scheich Rashid Al-Khalifa aus Bahrain gekommen. Ja, und das hat einen Grund natürlich. Es ist die Ausstellung, diese Spektrum-Ausstellung im Liechtensteinischen Landesmuseum, und wir freuen uns, dass wir schon ein paar Bilder auch zeigen können. Wir waren bei der Eröffnung und sind froh, dass Scheich Rashid Al-Khalifa hier bei uns im Studio ist. Is it your first time here in Liechtenstein?
Yes, it's the first time, and I am very happy to be here and to have my exhibition in Liechtenstein, and I thank the management for hosting me. Thank you.
You're a sheikh from Bahrain. How did it come that you're an artist?
Well, because I belong to the family Al Khalifa, and the member of Al Khalifa they have the title of sheikh, you know. And it is a hobby of mine from school days. So I started painting when I was at school, and the family encouraged me, and the teachers and friends. But when I wanted to study, they said to me, no, you have to study something else. Economy and other subjects, you know. But I studied art and design in England afterwards, yeah. So I started, this art from very young age.
Mm-hmm. Where else can we see in Europe your art, your exhibitions?
Well, I have, exhibited in Germany before, and Geneva, at the Switzerland, and Paris. In some capitals of Europe. And Venice Biennale, I took part in Venice Biennale, America. So also I had the Art Society. I am the chairman, honorary chairman of the Art Society. So we have about 250 artists, male and female, so we work together and we exhibit, outside Bahrain and in the Gulf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How would you describe your art?
Well, I started, if I may, I started very traditional, landscape. I started with figures and very classical work to start with. And now it's what I do is quite contemporary. Contemporary in the look and contemporary in the use of material. The medium of the painting is it's not the traditional oil or acrylic that many artists uses. I use aluminum as the surface of the artwork, and I use enamel paint, which is mainly for metals, so it's quite contemporary what I do today.
And it has something to do with your country, because aluminum is something very strong in your country. Oil, for sure, it was or is still a big thing in your country.
Oil, yes, it's the main source of income, the oil industry. And but aluminum, although we have the biggest smelters, in the world. For aluminum, but this has nothing to do with what I'm doing in art, because you see what I do is the surfaces of my paintings are convex, which is not flat, and I wanted to have a surface that is light but strong enough, to have this convex shape, and I tried with timber wood, plywood. Was good, and I stretched canvas on it. I have some of that. It looked good, but when I did it in aluminum, they looked to me 100% better.
About your country, it's a very liberal country. We spoke a lot in the news in Europe about Arabic countries because we need some gas, we need oil for sure because of the war in Ukraine and Russia. How would you describe your country? Is it the most liberal country in the Arabic?
Well, I mean, for me it's normal, the lifestyle in Bahrain, But we have, very early education, for men and women from over 100 years ago, structured education. And that gave the country the edge, to start to develop the country in all aspects, whether it's the economy, whether it's the health service, the industries. So education was important, for the country to start then, before the discovery of oil. Then the discovery of oil was in the early 30s. And luckily, and not so luckily because it came out, but it was not a big amount, So it was enough for the country to develop nicely and steady without having the boom, which in my view is something positive.
It's better, yeah.
Yeah. And, we have freedom we have parliament, we have, election, and women, they have full rights, driving, education, becoming too strong sometimes, but we are accepting them. The artists, many female artists, and they are very good ones, very good female artists. Yeah, and in many cases they are better than male artists.
Do you think that your country is a role model for the other Arabic countries which are not so democratic?
Well, I think other countries, they have reasons, in my view, but they are developing now. All countries are developing and catching up fast, and because the world is becoming small, and there is no reason why you should not do this or you keep going under all systems. So all countries are being, opened up and developed, and with the link of internet and social media and everything. So everybody's learning from others.
And now you're in the Liechtensteinischen Landesmuseum with your art, with Spectrum.
Yeah.
Is it important for you? It's a very little country, one of the smallest in the world. What do you think about Liechtenstein?
Well, it is an honor for me to exhibit at the museum here, and I met the director last summer, Mr. Vogler, and we struck a good relationship, from day one. And we talked about the possibility of exhibition and exchange of, programs and visits and exhibition between Bahrain and Liechtenstein. And, so we said, okay, let's start with an exhibition. And we also have something in mind for training as well, and we would need his assistance to develop because also I had the Art Council in Bahrain, so I'm the chairman of the Art Council in Bahrain that is newly formed. And we are looking for development and assistance from Liechtenstein in this field. And it is a small country, and also Bahrain is a small country, it's almost the same size, but our population is more, so we can work together, on a smaller scale. So big brothers, leave them.
Do you sell your art?
Yeah, but nobody buys. No, yeah, to some, yes. Some, but not all the time. So I have a foundation, art foundation, and I keep a lot of my artworks there, and of other artists, international, local artists as well. So I collect a lot of art, yes.
And it's not the last time, I hope, that you are with your art, with Spectrum here in the
No.
Liechtenstein.
In fact, there is another one in September. This is first, and let's say part 2 in September, where I will exhibit some of the earlier work of mine, so for the public to see what I painted long time ago.
Beautiful.
Like in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and so on. From a few paintings from each period. So they can see why I'm doing this today. You have to go back.
We will watch it. Wie wir uns das anschauen. Spektrum zurzeit im Liechtensteinischen Landesmuseum im Städtle in Vaduz. Thank you very much. Vielen Dank, Sheikh Rashid Al-Khalifa. Ja, vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen zu Hause und bis bald wieder. Viel Spaß mit dem weiteren Programm von 1FL TV.